Welcome back, everybody. We're week 2 of COVID-19 online math. Here we go. We're starting chapter 13. Very, very important chapter for you guys moving into algebra next year. But it is Monday. That means Bad Joke Monday. I'm not really sure if this is a joke, but this is a joke my daughter played on me the other day, and I thought I'd share it with you. So we're driving the other day, just trying to get out of the house, get a little different viewpoint, because, the four walls kind of close in after a while. So we're driving around, and I was like, man, I'd really like to hear this song right now. And all of a sudden, it came on the radio. And I looked at it, I'm like, wow, that's kind of weird. So as that song was playing, I'm like, oh, I remember in high school when I heard this song, then they used to always follow it up with this song. And all of a sudden, that song came on next. And I was like, wow, this is like reliving my high school days. So as that song was playing, I was like, it'd be really funny if they played this song next, because it'd be like a high school dance all over again. And all of a sudden, that song came on again. And I'm looking at her like, man, I have some superpowers over this DJ. Then we pulled in the driveway and I got home. I was telling my wife how they played 3 songs in a row that I predicted. And my daughter started laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? She's like, Dad, we were listening to my phone. I was queuing up the songs as you were saying them. So she totally set me up. But hey, I was reliving my high school days, so it was all good. All right, hope you guys are doing well. We're starting with chapter 13. The first 2 lessons are totally review. I've taught you all this stuff before. So let's go through it anyway. We'll have a few review questions to do the next few days. And then Wednesday, we'll kind of rev it up and get into the good part of this chapter. The chapter starts with graphing a line. And please read your book, because there's a difference between a line and a non-linear equation. We talked about that before. A line has a straight line when you're done. A non-linear function is not a line. It has a curve or a twist or a bend in it, something like that. Here's the kind of thing I'm going to ask you to do today. I'm going to give you an equation. It's going to have an x and a y in it. And we have to come up with some points so we can graph some points and make a line. We could choose any points in the world we want for x, but we're going to use a -1, 0, 1, and 2 most of the time. There would be some times when we don't, but that's what we're going to use most of the time because it keeps us really close to the origin so we can graph it quickly. And then we get the same answers, so we can always compare the same answers. If we were in class tomorrow, we could say, what'd you get when you put a -1? And I got -9. Where if we randomly put in a bunch of numbers, we couldn't compare answers really well. But there's an infinite amount of answers to this question. They want you to put in numbers for x, come up with values for y, and then graph the line. This is input-output box from 3rd grade. Okay, nothing new here for you mathematically to do. Everything that I'm going to show you on this problem is stuff that you've done in elementary school. So they want to know, what is y equal if I put a -1 in for that x? So I did that right here. If we were having a notebook quiz, this would be what I would be grading in a notebook quiz. I'd put a -1 in. You got to multiply first. Positive times a negative is a negative. I did my add-op step right here, and I got a -9. Put that right there. Now put 0 in for your input. 3 times 0 is 0. -6 is a -6. So put that right there. Now put 1 in. 3 times 1 is 3. Add a -6. I did the add-op. Got -3. Now put in 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. So I have these 4 points. Now you're going to get graph paper. I know you don't have graph paper. Sorry about that. Just do a rough sketch. And so I did a rough sketch right here. I went down -1, -9. So I went -1 down -9. 0, -6. Over 1 down to -3. And 2, 0 over 2 up 0. Connect your dots, put arrows on the end of your line. You do need to label your points. As I told you earlier this year, I do a shortcut. I put A, B, C, D here, A, B, C, D here to label my points. It's a little bit short. Algebraically speaking, you're supposed to label this point 2, 0. You're supposed to label that point -1, -9 with parentheses in the comma. I like this. It's a little cleaner, a little easier to see. So you're going to have some questions today. They do take a little bit of time because you got to graph all 4 points. I do make you do 4. If I wasn't on video, I'd explain why I do 4. I spent 10 years trying to figure out what to do with students. 4 is the perfect amount for you guys to do. So you put in these 4 numbers and graph your line. You shove a straight line in. If you have a line that is not straight, then you screwed up. If you start here and you go there and then you go there and then you go there, that is not a straight line. Okay? I don't care how many times that Ethan tells me that's a straight line. Ethan, that is not a straight line. You messed up somewhere. So redo it, figure something out. Okay? But it has to be straight. Okay? It can't be anything like that. So 13.1, the first assignment is going to be graphing lines. Now, a couple things I really want you to understand about graphing lines. And again, we talked about all this stuff earlier this year because you guys are so good. I kind of kept putting things ahead of you. They're really going to be big in the horizontal and vertical lines. And the difference is when you have your majority of your homework, there's two variables in the problem, x and y, all in the same problem. And that's when you got to do a lot of work. But when they only give you one variable, that means it's a shortcut. Most kids get confused on this. They're like, I don't know what to do now. There's nothing to do. It says go to y equals 2 and draw a line. So this is the y-axis. So I went up to 1, 2, and I drew a line. Y is always equal to 2. 4, 2, 2, 2. Y at this blue line is always 2. When there's only one variable, it is a shortcut of a question. Here's a vertical line. X equals 3. Notice there's only one variable here. The y is missing. That means it's a shortcut. They want you to go on the x-axis and go to 3 and put a dot. So here's the x-axis. I go to 3 and I put a dot. And then just draw a vertical line where x is always 3. The coordinates right here is x equals 3, y equals 2. That would be 3, 2. The coordinates right here would be go over 3, down 1.5. So that'd be 1.5. So these are shortcut questions today. When you only see one variable, it's a shortcut. So don't get confused on those. Most 7th graders do, and that's too bad. When it's two variables, that means you got to do all this work. And this is what we really want you to know. We really want you to know two variables. Now, a couple other things about lines that we've already talked about this year, and that is, if it's a flat line, that's horizontal, it has zeros in it, that has a slope of 0. If it's a vertical line, the V and the U for undefined look the same. That's an undefined slope. Okay? The next lesson, 13.2, talks about slopes. So here we go. When we did slopes, we did rise over run. We did it the easy way. But because I have the smartest kids in the world, I said, guys, let's learn the hard way, which is really the algebra way. And we talked about that formula. In this formula, the little 2's, little 1's, they really don't mean anything, remember that? Except that these two come from the same parenthesis and these two come from the same parenthesis. So when they're talking about slope, we talked about Parker being out there skiing on the hills and the difference between what Parker does on the big blue black diamond hills compared to the blue little baby hills that I would do if I was skiing. When they're talking about slope, they want to know is that how steep that line is. And we talk about rise over run. So what they want you to do in your homework today, this week, is they're going to give you that point and that point. And maybe this is a negative 2, 10. And maybe this point right here is 3, 1. And all they want you to do is count rise over run. That's how they're starting. Again, they're starting out slow. So you're going to take and you're going to count the rise over run. You're going to say, how much did I go up and how much did I go over? This is your rise, and that's your run. Well, if you're at a height of 1 right here, and all of a sudden you're at a height of 10 right there, you went up 9. So that would be 9. Your run, you're over here at a negative 2, and you want to get to this spot right here, so you got to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get here. It'd be 9/5. But now, is it positive or is it negative? Remember, from left to right, when you're reading a book, if it goes downhill, that's negative. A line that's going uphill is positive. Now, they're going to let you do that for a few questions, but then they're going to get into the real way to find slope. They're going to, instead of giving you a picture, they're going to tell you have one point that's a negative 2, 10, and one point that's 3, 1. Find the slope of that line. That's when you're going to have to use this formula. Okay? So you're going to take the two y coordinates and subtract them. The number one mistake you're going to make is you're going to put the x coordinates on top. You got to slow down and get that. You got to put the y coordinates on top. So I can do 10 minus 1 or 1 minus 10. It doesn't matter. It's your choice. I'm going to choose 10 minus 1. Now, the bottom, the x coordinates, the little 2's, what they mean is whatever number you chose here, its partner goes here. I chose the 10. Its partner is the negative 2. That goes there. Now subtract. the partner of the 1. There's my 1. Its partner is the 3, so I subtract that. 10 minus 1 is 9. Add op. Negative 2 plus a negative 3 is a negative 5. Same exact answer. 2 ways of finding it. If they give you a graph, this is definitely the easier way to go. But at the second half of this homework assignment, which is probably like Tuesday night's homework, then you're going to want to do this kind of thing here. So, you got a couple things to do to get started in chapter 13. You're going to have to graph a line, which is making a T-chart. I refer to these as T-chart. Your book does not. Your book does it a new fashioned way. They do a horizontal chart. I don't like the horizontal. I just have always done vertical, so I call it a T-chart. Put in a negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and figure out the answer. Graph the line, and then you got slope. Now there's one other little thing I want to tell you about, and here it is. I told you to use a negative 1, 0, 1, 2. Stay close to the origin, graph the line. But when is a better time not to use those? Let's take a look. They're going to give you something like this. Y equals x divided by 3 plus 4. They might write that as y equals 1/3 x plus 4. These are times when using a negative 1, 0, 1, 2 are not the best choices for your x. You're going to have to take this x and you're going to have to divide it by 3 to get started. Well, since we're going to take x and divide it by 3, we might as well put numbers up here that can be evenly divisible by 3. What are multiples of 3? I always like you to use a negative number. We talked about that earlier this year. So then use a negative 3, 0, 3, and 6. Still got to use 4 different numbers, but you might as well use something divisible by 3. So when you do 6 divided by 3, you get 2. Then you can easily add 4 to it. And when you put 3 in, you go 3 divided by 3, you get 1. If you put 1 in here, you get 1/3 plus 4, and then you're graphing fractions. Makes it a little bit awkward. Another example, if they change this to 2x divided by 5 or 2/5 x. Well, now we're going to have to divide by 5. So when you go over here, again, I want a negative number to start with. You want things that are divisible by 5. So put a negative 5 in here, and then 5, and then 10. Use multiples of 5, so when you go 2 times 5 is 10. 10 divided by 5 is 2. If you put in 10 right here, you would do 5 cancels into 10, twice, kiss it in there. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 4 is 8. It helps you keep integers in a math problem, so it's easier to graph. So always use a negative 1, 0, 1, 2 for x, unless they give you a division problem, and then go ahead and use multiples in that denominator. It just makes the problems a little bit easier. You don't have to, it just makes it easier. It's your choice. All right, tomorrow we have our conference in the morning. We'll talk a little bit more about this, and then this week you're going to work on graphing a line, you're going to work on slope, and then next week we really get into what is so important about chapter 13. Hope you're doing well. Remember, tomorrow during our conference, you got to share what song makes you smile or what song makes you happy. That's going to be our good things to share Monday during our conference. Hopefully you get to see this video before then. All right, hope all's well. But wait, there's one more thing. This is for all those kids in whatever hour. I think it's Chase, what hour are you in? 6th hour? Every time we shake the dice and roll it, you guys have been burning me all year. So here, this is for 6th hour. If this dice comes out odd, I'll do 30 push-ups right now. If this comes out even, then you guys are doing 15, just in case you can't do 30 push-ups. I'm an old man, I can do 30. All right, so I can't remember what I just said. Odd, I think I'm doing them. Odd, I'll do push-ups. Even, you guys got to do it. Chase, Grace, you guys have been burning me all year on this. I'm going to roll it. My camera person's going to videotape it. If it's odd, I get 30. Look, it's right on the bubble. Got to do it again because that was kind of odd. That's an even. We'll go 2 out of 3 because I cheated on the first one. It's really an odd number. Come on, even. Oh, that's right on the bubble. Can't tell that. Let's do it on her chair. We'll get a nice reading on this one. Yes. Finally. 5th hour, 6th hour, whatever hour you guys on, you finally owe me. Everybody's got to do what you got to do. You guys have 15 push-ups. You better do them. Hey, peace out. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.